It was night. There was blizzard. I was running away along mountain road in freezing cold with pet mouse and dog. But I eat dog and save mouse. I may take it a little easy today, not sure yet. But let's continue on. Order, please. Let us resume proceedings. But yes, we found out some shit. Van Zeeks decided to throw around the table on us, like literally flipped everything on us, and we're like, okay, damn. See, sorry for your sorry your throat hurts. Hope you feel better soon. Thank you so much, Crafty Trouble. No, but I feel like tons better. But like, I'm just mad that my mom decided to use like half a fucking bottle of bleach. Like, I'm very sensitive to household chemicals, so anything that has strong fumes, like bleach and stuff like that, literally irritate my throat. Like, I legit got sick because of just harsh fumes one time that, like, I just inhaled too much, and then I can't. So kudos to people that can do it. Can literally wail on bleach like it's nothing. I can't. I can't. That's why when I do my laundry, especially for whites, I use OxyClean or whatever it's called. And it does the same thing as bleach. It's just, it's not as fuminated. Same, gets so hard to breathe. Yeah, it's so annoying. Like, that's why I try to go to, like, for other alternatives for whitening clothes and things like that. And they're, like, much better anyway. Please. Oh, you started on time? Oh, that's funny. Okay. Oh, Moobot. Okay. I'm sorry, Moobot. My bad. Well, I did not relink my Moobot. So there's that. But that's fine. And yes, I started on time for once because I wanted to be a decent human being for once and actually get my shit together. But yesterday, I actually, during off stream, I spent my time just like getting things out the way, cleaning things up, getting some videos and stuff queued up. Like, I did some offline editing work and things like that for my other recordings that I've done earlier this week. So I got a lot of those done yesterday, and then since I got all that done yesterday, today I was like, oh, I have nothing to do. I'm gonna be on time today. so so yeah, I'm on time today. But anyways, order, please. Let us resume proceedings. Witnesses, you will now retake the stand. I presume you heard the defense counsel's summonation examination. Oh, yeah, Governor. Oh, yeah, that's right. We did our summonation examination, and then we proved that they shot a bullet. They shot their gun. So there's that. But then we also proved that because they shot their gun, it pinned Ginny to being the killer. We're like, fuck. But we'll see how we'll get through this. I did, Gov, I did. Mr. and Mrs. Skulkin. I mean, Core, but wait, did I say Mr. and Mrs.? Or did I say Mr.? What was history? Okay, Mr. and Mr. Skulkin. That is so natural just to say Mr. and Mrs. My bad. Mr. and Mr. Skulkin. Core, blimey. This is going to be hard work. Earlier in this trial, you gave the following testimony about your actions after you entered Windibanks. So everyone does that and it cracks me up. Because it's so natural. Like, you don't say Mr. and Mr. You say Mr. and Mrs. It rolls off easier. I'm just mad I fell into that. God. Anyways. Well, it was a bedlam soon as, weren't it? It was, Nash, it was. I didn't have time to pull me dukes out, me Lucy lockets. Mm-hmm. However, that was a lie. You brothers, core blimey, on the night in question, you rifled through the items on the victim's counter. We never done nothing of the sort. How'd you figure that out? I love their expressions. You will now give formal testimony once again. You will tell the court precisely what happened on the night in question, and this time, you will tell the truth. Each lie that passes your lips serves to increase the severity of your punishment. And that, gentlemen, is what I call a spicy opening for the night. And that, gentlemen, may deal a crushing blow to your chances of ever seeing the light of day again. A thought worth pondering, perhaps. Say no more, Gov. We hear ya. We'll blab, we'll squeak, we'll peach. Witness testimony. Illegal entry, the whole truth. Alright, we did knock a few things over, but we weren't rifling for nothing. It was when we heard the gunshot, see? Made us both jump and all that stuff went flying. Lummy, it didn't... What? Oh, half give me a fright. We was thinking the shooter'd come out the door and get us next. We stuck everything back where we found it and scarpered straight into him in the black. Oh, and scarpered straight into him in the blacks. Yeah, so they ran into us. We couldn't have shot the pawnbroker, see? We never even had a chance, did we? I don't know about that. So you admit to the defense's accusation. You did indeed ransack Mr. Windibank's countertop on the night in question. Not ransack, Governor, no.
Samurai Jack just subscribed. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Samurai Jack. I appreciate it. And thank you for enjoying my content. See, not ransack, Governor, no. That's right, Nash, that's right. It's more like we tidied up, yeah. Yeah, see? Yeah, we tidied up, see? Sorry, yeah, Van Zeeks is not having any of this shit right now. By their own admission, these brothers entered the pawnbrokery under dubious circumstances. However, they panicked and fled on hearing the gunshot, having first made good their mess. The way you say it, we hardly sound like roughs at all. We don't, Nash, we don't. Can't you make us sound a bit more cutthroat? You don't look cutthroat, I'm sorry. You look like a cute-ass chipmunk, that's what you look like. It can't just be coincidence that these men showed up at Windibank's that night. There's more to their testimony than meets the eye, I'm sure of it. You too, Gregson. Cause watch Gregson be in on this shit too. I swear to God. Illegal entry, the whole truth. Alright, let's go through our pressing extravaganza. If that's the case, then why did you not testify to that effect in the first place? Well, you know, we ain't exactly squeaky clean, are we? We ain't, Nash, we ain't. If we admitted to something like that, people would think we was up to no good. You look like you're up to no good. Just saying. Well said, Ringo. Me old China. We'd only land ourselves in even more trouble. And, in fact now, as a result of lying in your previous testimony, that's exactly what you've done. Landed yourselves in even more trouble. That's rotten luck, says the rotten apple eater. Witnesses, explain your actions to the courts. Why did you ransack the victim's counter? We never ransacked nothing. Right, Nash, right. More like we tidied up the place. He didn't like that answer. Sorry. He didn't like that answer. Alright, next one.
Hold it!
I like how Van Zeeks is like taking no shit right now. So what you're saying is, the sound of the gunshot shocked you so much, you knocked all those things off the counter? Well, it shocked one of us that much, yeah. This bag of nerves needs to learn to keep his shirt on. Look, it was loud, alright, blimey. Me dead granny would have woken up at that bang. Big Bruvier screamed like a bloomin' baby and fell over on the counter. He knocked over a load of books, a candlestick, and some skull whatnot. That got tangled in some marionette. What knocked over a picture frame, what knocked scales on the floor. You've really mastered working quietly then. What a racket. Me granny would have been scared back into her grave at a clatter like that. No, your granny would have kicked your ass for waking her ass up. That's what would have happened. So in short, the gunshot took you by surprise. And then some. I mean,
Is that right?
that scared the shit out of me. What the fuck? That scared the fuck out of me. What the fuck? It was all in my right ear. And then some. I mean, it was quiet as a mouse, and then all of a sudden, bam! Oh, Gregson. Oh, you seem disturbed. Excuse me, sir.
Excuse me.
Excuse me. Inspector Gregson, do you have something to add? Like I keep saying, I don't appreciate being lumped in with these scoundrels. Right. No, something to add to their testimony? You seem to react just now at what Mr. Skulkin said. Did it make you think of something? It's probably nothing, of course. I wouldn't even bother to mention it, only... Well, the fact is, cases don't get solved if you ignore the little details. How about you just tell us what's on your mind? How about that, Gregson? That'll work better for us. As you know, we brought these fellas into the yard for questioning last night. And the statement they gave then told a slightly different story to what they're saying now. Oh. Are they now? Did it? You're telling... Are you... You claimed you heard the victim shout something about... Or shout something out before the gunshot. We didn't hear no victim say anything. Might have, Gov. Might have. Does ring a bell now you mention it. Granted, it's only a minor detail, but still. I can't help feeling like perhaps you've been a bit sloppy with your testimony here. Eh, fellas? If I discovered the witness's testimony has been any more sloppy than it has hitherto? I forgot how to say the word. It has hitherto proven to be. I shall be forced to bring the very harshest punishment to bear against them. Easy. We'll get it right this time. That's it, yep. It's all coming back to me now. Oh. Then speak. Supplement your testimony with whatever details have miraculously returned to your questionable minds, sirs. Right you are, Gov. Just before the gunshot, we heard a voice yelling out, "Give me that gun."
Hold it!
Right. So, in fact, you heard the voice and the gunshot almost simultaneously? We did, Gov, we did. Although, I suppose, if you're being honest, we heard a kind of wavering voice before the yell and all. If you don't want to get shot, give me that gun. Bam. Oh. Kind of thing. God, their animation. It's their eyes. A career in acting tragically missed. That's what I'm saying. Like, they have good animation. They nail their roles. And where were the voices coming from? Could you tell? Of course we could. From the other side of that door behind the counter it was. From the storeroom where the victim was found dead. And the voice he heard, it was that of the victim, Mr. Windibank. On me granny's life, of course it was. Oh, damn, okay. Bam. On his granny's life, of course it was. So, where's your granny, Nash? So that would mean that you both knew Mr. Windibank and the sound of his voice? So that would mean what? What, Nash, what? Any ideas? Yes, counsel, indeed it would. Right. Could land the straight man and funny man act if they weren't baddies? Actually, yeah, they could. Nah. We didn't know the geezer. How am I supposed to deny it when that bloke in all the fancy clobbers giving us the evil eye? If you value your lives, you will ensure your testimony is accurate and true. Dude, Van Zeeks is he's about to blow. On me granny's life, it is. On his granny's life, it must be. It's a good job his granny's dead. To summarize then, immediately after hearing the voice of the victim, you then hear the gunshots, causing you to stumble and upset the items on the counter, scattering them over the shop floor. You make it sound like we're clumsy. I mean, you're the one who said you knocked shit over. So, like, only clumsy people do that shit. Don't forget, we tidied up after like good little boys. Anyway, the way I see it. The bloke what owned the place was holding the gun, so we shot fired. Okay.
Hold it!
So is Windibank chasing after Gina, or is Gina chasing after Windibank? Yeah, that's the confusion here. So you're saying that Mr. Windibank had a gun in his hands? Oh yeah. Bet that was a sight, eh? Them two waving them guns at each other must have got pretty heated. I mean, just before he shouted out, we heard the geezer say, if you don't want to get shot. It didn't really sound like he meant it, mind. More of an empty threat, you could say. Mr. Windibank was known to keep a revolver on his shop counter at all times. People say that to protect the articles in his keeping, he'd readily put a bullet in someone's head if required. That someone being himself, of course. Good grief. Extraordinary devotion indeed, if alarmingly misguided. Alarmingly, he had issues. Well, he certainly sounded like he was ready to pull the trigger the other night. Only the person he was gonna shoot beat him to it. Cooked his goose proper. Bet he wished he'd squeezed the trigger instead of wasting time shouting, "Give me that gun." And it was directly after those words that you heard the gunshot. It was more or less at the same time, Gov. Give me that gun. Bam! And then they look at us. Oh, that's great. Kind of thing. Yes, a career in acting, very tragically missed. Then we heard the sound of someone hitting the deck, before everything went dead quiet. After that, we done a slapdash job tidying the place up. It didn't have give me a fright.
Hold it!
So, you didn't try to open the storeroom door then? Not on your life. It went deathly quiet after that, it did. Put the wind right up me. But anyway, the door was locked, weren't it? No way that was opening. Yes, of course. It was locked from the inside, or so we've been led to believe. It was, Gov, it was, from the inside. Right, so we had no way of knowing what was going on in there, did we? Unless there was some other way to get a view of the inside of the storeroom. Like through the keyhole or a spy hole, perhaps? Don't ring no bells, and don't light no lights. We had to cut and run before we noticed anything like that. We're still cutting our teeth in this game, see? But one day... we'll really cut the mustard. Oh my god. And I like how they try to add Gregson in. Please, cut it out. But as we know, behind that door was the victim's lifeless body, with the accused not 2 feet away. Yes, unfortunately. Yeah. Gina was in there, unconscious, with the gun in her hands. To confirm, would it be correct to say that neither of you set foot inside the storeroom? That's right, Gov, that's right. Couldn't have even if we wanted to. Yep, they stuck everything back where they found it apparently. I want to say probably the thing that we'll press on is the items that they said that they found everything and like rearranged. I don't know. Yes, whereupon you fired a shot from your own gun at Mr. Herlock Sholmes. Oh, yeah. We was a bit hasty there. We was, Nash, we was. Truth be told, I was already shaking like a leaf when you lot turned up. If you're shaking like a leaf, don't put a loaded gun in your hands. Good advice, miss. Good advice. Truth be told, me mind went totally blank. Before your mind goes totally blank, make sure you don't have a loaded gun in your hand. Oh, Iris is just rare. Mental note made, miss. After that, we legged it down the street, but apparently we looked dodgy to the coppers or somewhat, so they clapped the darbies on us like winking. They caught him. That's what he means. And after you'd been handcuffed, the police found this revolver in your possession, correct? Well, yeah. But listen, that proves it. That proves it. Oh, don't it? Eh? That's what he meant to say, don't it? We couldn't have a shot at a pawnbroker. Wait, we couldn't have shot the pawnbroker, see?
Hold it!
And why should we believe that? What? Well, 'cause it's true, innit? The place was totally empty when we went in. At that time, the victim was already in the storeroom, having been forced to open the door by the accused who had a gun to his head. No. In other words, on the night in question, these 2 witnesses never even laid eyes on the proprietor of the pawnbrokery, Mr. Windibank. Correct? You've got it, mister. Down to a T. I love when they're done with their, like, just their slaps. Like, they look so happy. They look so happy looking at us. Like, yes, that is right. Correct. So the Skulkin brothers never actually encountered Mr. Windibank. Is that really true? I wonder. Dun, 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 dun. That's it? That's the full extent of their testimony? What is it, Renault? You look very fierce. I could pour you some herbal tea if you're tired. Oh, thank you, but I'm fine. Being such a logical thinker, you'll probably laugh, but I feel as though these brothers are still hiding something important. It is nothing more than a feeling, though. I have no proof to support it. Well, feelings can be very logical at times. Sorry? People's expressions, the movement of their eyes, the words they choose. You can't take all that. You can take all that in, and your brain will quietly analyze it to come up with a feeling like you described. You've concluded that there's something suspicious about this testimony without knowing why, that's all. I think you should trust your instincts. Iris, thank you. Sometimes, I think if she's 10 years old, I must be 5. Oh god. Okay. Alright, we did knock a few things over. We heard a voice yelling out, "Give me that gun." The bloke who owned the place was holding a gun, so we have just fired instead of yelling at the girl. You happened right because you were thinking to shoot him out the door. Wait, the bloke would own the gun. Wait, okay. The person who owned the place was holding a gun. So we should have fired instead of yelling at the girl. Oh, no, so he should have fired instead of just yelling at the girl. But the shooter come out the door and get us next? We stuck everything back there, we found it. The bloke who owned the place was holding a gun. Wait, but then how would you... How would you know if he was holding a gun if you didn't see him in the first place? Was holding a gun. Yeah, like he... Do I have anything? I don't even know what to present him, to be honest. I mean, that has a picture of Mr. Windibanks. The gun belonging that Gina was holding when she was found unconscious are signs of a single discharge. Automatically by the red-hand recorder. We don't need that. If Gina got his gun, then he would have gotten shot from the front. Photograph of the video found murdered in the storm. It shows a single bullet wound in the man's back. The bloke would own the place was... Okay, so he was shot from the back because there's burn marks on the back, so that's for sure. Because I remember, I think there was an Ace Attorney where it's like a gunshot, but they wanted to disprove the like location of like where it came from. But then they used, you had to indicate the burn marks to determine the entry wound. Okay, so he was definitely shot from the back. Okay, so the bloke who owned the place was holding a gun, so he should have just fired instead of yelling at the girl. He was thinking shoot from the door. We stuck everything back where we found it and scraped it straight into the black. We couldn't have shot the prom burger, see? We have never had a chance, did we? Okay, just before the gunshot, we heard a voice yelling over that gun. Alright, we did knock a few things over. We were... Right, okay. So it has to be this statement. Holding a gun, so... Fired instead of yelling at the girl. The bloke what owns... Let me press this again. You're saying that Mr. Windibank had a gun in his hands? Oh yeah, bet that was a sight, eh? Them two waving them guns at each other must have got pretty heated. Because he's implying that there's two guns in play. I mean, that's before we shut it out. We heard the geezer say, if you don't get shot. Didn't really sound like he meant it. Okay. Okay. He probably sounded like he wanted to pull the trigger. The person he was gonna shoot beat him to it. but he wished he squeezed the trigger instead of wasting time shooting or shouting. It was more than less the same time, Gov. Give me that gun. Bam. Kind of thing. Okay. Okay, their animation. Cause I don't know if that's like general or what.
Hold it!
No, no, I don't want to. Oh fuck! I pressed the wrong one. Skip, 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 please. Skip, please. Skip, please. Skip. That was my fault. That was my fault. Hurry up. I really wish it was like a skip all. That'd be great. Okay, I meant to actually go to the side over here. Okay, so it's definitely this one. The bloke owned the place holding the gun, so he should have fired just instead of yelling at the girl. And they're implying that like they were looking at each other, but he was shot in the back. And the gun belonged to him. Gina was holding when she was found unconscious or some single discharge. A folded device that allows anybody to enjoy seeing this through pieces. And then that's it. Okay. So I want to say maybe it's the picture. Because I was actually going to either present this or I was going to present... not the newspaper. Maybe autopsy report? But... it's either this or the gun, really. I was going to present the gun. Just to say that, like, how did he have the gun if Gina was holding it, you know? But we'll see, we'll see, we'll see. I'm unsure, but is it this one?
Objection!
Yes. Yes! Yes! See, when you hear the silence, this is the only game where silence is a good thing. Because if you don't hear silence, it's bad. So you're saying that on the night in question, the victim, Mr. Windibank, was wielding a gun. Is that correct? That's it, Gov. You got the picture. Yeah, because how was he holding the gun if... because they said that he had the gun and then they looked... and then Gina had apparently her own gun and then they were looking at each other. And then he's all like, stop. And then Gina apparently was all like, no, go away. Bam. And then he gets shot. And somehow the gun fused into one. And, and magically only one gun was there at the scene. It doesn't make sense. That's it, Gov. You got the picture. He has, now she has. No question. And yet... photographic evidence obtained immediately after the incident clearly shows that Mr. Windibank was not holding a firearm of any description. You what? Gordon Bennett, that ain't right. Yeah, he wasn't holding a gun.
Objection!
Oh, you mad? There can be no question that the victim's revolver was used in the incident. I would remind the court that Mr. Windibank's gun was found at the scene. Not only was it identified as the murder weapon, but it was found in the accused's hand. Let me finish. Yeah, that mall tooler used the victim's own gun to finish him off. Give me that gun. Bam. Kind of thing.
Hold it!
Stay exactly where you are, right there. Oh, If the crime had taken place as you've so colorfully described it in your testimony, it would give rise to an undeniable and significant inconsistency in the final moments you just acted out. Goodness, are you sure, counsel? You intrigue me, my learned friend. But let's see some evidence to support your claim. Where is the proof that demonstrates this inconsistency in the witness's portrayal of the victim's final moments? Because he was shot in the back.
Take that!
According to their testimony, the witness claimed to have heard a shout of, "Give me that gun," followed by the gunshot. Okay, I got it right. I got it right. because I wasn't sure. I was not sure. Indeed, with the two events happening almost simultaneously, or so we've been led to believe. Yes, that's right. Now, if that testimony is true, it would mean that the moment of death, it would mean that at the moment of death, the victim and his attacker would have been facing each other. However, in the autopsy report, it clearly states that the victim died instantly after being shot from behind. So, as I stated before, there is an undeniable inconsistency in your testimony, Mr. and Mr. Skulkin. Yeah, because I almost said Mr. and Mrs. Oh god, this game. But it's the god honest truth. It is, Nash, it is. When we was shot that night, the shopkeeper had a gun in his hand. We saw it with our bleeding eyes. Did I hear you right just now? You actually saw Mr. Winterbank holding a gun? Oh, yeah, oh, yes, please, in more detail. Ringo and Nash. Something like that, might have slipped out. Oh, you don't say. Ladies and gentlemen, you have all just heard the admission by these two witnesses that on the night in question, they actually saw, with their own eyes, the victim wielding a gun. Which can only mean that despite their testimony to the contrary, the Skulkin brothers must have encountered the victim in person. Nash, yeah. Ordar! Witnesses, explain yourselves at once. Well, the thing is, it weren't supposed to, Dude, you could tell how angry he is. He, like, took the illest breath. He's just like... He just slowly puts his hands on the table. And he's like, listen here, you pieces of shit. He is mad. It would seem that my previous warning fell on deaf ears. I made it quite clear that false witness would be the death of you. Oof. Am I to understand that you replaced the untruths of your original testimony with renewed lies? Ever so sorry, Governor. Truth is, see, we, cut it out, Nash. Cut it out. If we blab now, you know what he'll do to us. He? Who are they talking about? Let me make your position here perfectly clear. You will talk. There is no other option available to you. Bruv, come on, the game's up. But we'll have our guts for garters. In case it hasn't quite sunk in yet, no matter how hard you try to hide it, the truth will come out. On the night in question, it is now apparent that you brothers met face to face with the victim. I demand that you testify again to explain the precise circumstances under which this meeting took place. Well, do we have to? On pain of death. I suggest you make yourself fully aware that this is your very last chance to tell the truth. Oof. Hey, what's up, Shadow? Why are Mario and Luigi in this game? God. Alright, this is some bootleg Mario and Luigi. Alright, encounter with the victim. Alright, so we just got inside the gaff and heaved a sigh of relief when the geezer showed his mug. Give me that gun, he bellowed, and then he flew at us like he was possessed. I thought we'd had it. For an old geezer, the bloke was strong as an ox. He chucked me over the counter. I pulled me gun on him, and then he legged it through that door into the back room. We never had nothing to do with killing him. That's all what happened, I swear. So that would mean the shot that Windabanks shot was at them then. And it hit the calendar. I want to say. So would that mean that the revolver shot wasn't the shot in there? Or the bullet? So you're now telling us that moments before the victim was killed in the storeroom, you in fact encountered him in the main part of the shop. Well, yeah, sorry. Well, we find ourselves at an interesting juncture. This changes matters considerably. But honest, Governor, this time, Nash, we ain't got nothing more to hide. Very well. Counsel for the defense, you may proceed with your cross-examination. Yes, my lord. This is it. The moment I've been waiting for. Man, you're way behind Shadow. She's very interested. No, I am a little intrigued by Van Zeeks. Just a tad bit. Alright, encounter with the victim.
Hold it!
When you say geezer, I presume you mean the victim and proprietor of the shop, Mr. Windabank? Who else? Sorry, I mean, that's right. We was keeping a close eye on the entrance to the gaff, obviously. But we never thought no one was gonna come out of the back room like that. The back room being the pawn brokery's storeroom? Yeah, that must be where he popped up from. Only place he could have been. So it would seem the victim was already in the storeroom when these brothers entered the premises. Which means Ginny must have been in there at that point as well. But that doesn't make sense, does it? If Gina had threatened Mr. Windabank into the storeroom with her at gunpoint, then why would he have emerged from the same room all alone when the brothers arrived? Oh, I don't know. Did you see the accused at that time? What? That mall tooler? Couldn't tell ya. No way, Cobber. We had bigger fish to fry then. I mean, the old geezer just lost it. Jeez. Give me that gun. Never, probably. I mean, if one exists at a convention, maybe high key I would probably buy it. God. You mentioned that Mr. Windabank shouted those words in your previous testimony too. However, you claimed that you heard him yelling them on the other side of the storeroom door. Oh, did we? But the truth is, he was shouting those words at you, wasn't he? Well, yeah. Was the victim, Mr. Windabank, wielding a gun at the time? Was he ever, blimey lummy? A great ugly barrel he had, pointed straight at me frontispiece? So what you're saying is, you definitely saw Mr. Windabank with the gun at that time, is that right? It is, Gov, it is. Spot on. Right. Then all of a sudden, he came at us, he did. It was Bedlam. I didn't know who was going for who. You were clearly all going for each other. Like Nash said, we thought we'd had it. I mean, I'm still convinced they shot the man.
Hold it!
Yes, I noted that you mentioned the counter in your previous testimony too. Well, yeah, of course we did. He knocked over a load of books, a candlestick, and some skull whatnot. That got tangled in some marionette. One knocked over a picture frame. One knocked them scales on the floor. So in fact, it wasn't the sound of the gunshot that shocked you and made you knock those things off the counter. Well, Big Bruv here went flying over that counter like a gunshot, I can tell ya. The old geezer pinned him. He did, Nash, he did. If you hadn't been there, the blow would have flattened me like a bloomin' pancake in seconds. At the time in question, the alarm was raised at the local police station via a secret cable from the pawnbrokery. There is a button under the counter used to activate it, which was presumably pressed by the victim. That's right. When the brothers fled the scene and back onto the street, they ran straight into the arriving police. Didn't they? Yeah, they did. Poor Mr. Winterbank. He did everything he could to protect his shop. Pulled a gun on him, and then he let through that door into back.
Hold it!
Were you intending to shoot, Mr. Winterbank? Nah, never. I was just, you know, looking out here for me bruv, weren't I? He was gonna be flattened, don't forget it. By a man whose shop was being burgled, yes. And then, the man fled into the storeroom when you pointed your gun at him. Is that it? Yeah, that's it. He shoved me away, then ran off through that door and shut himself in. There's something about that last remark. Something that doesn't quite ring true. I wonder why Mr. Winterbank ran away into the storeroom. What? Well, according to what everyone's saying, Ginny was in there waiting for him with a gun. Yes, that's right. Gina allegedly used Mr. Winterbank's gun to threaten him and force him to open the storeroom door. In which case, how did the gun end up in Mr. Winterbank's hands again? I have no idea, but that is strange, isn't it? This little inconsistency could be significant. I should make a mental note of it. Look, the point is, me and bruv here. That's right, Nash, that's right. Me and me bruv here. We never had nothing to do with killing. I pulled a gun on him and then he let through that door into the back room. Single bullet victims by no other visible signs, instant death. Okay, so it's just all autopsy stuff. There's nothing that says anything with a back room. Okay, it looks like I may have to press him again. Yeah, it looks like I'm gonna have to maybe press that again. Give me 1 second. I gotta fix something. Okay. Yeah, I had some wires like tangled on my headset. And like, I didn't want to trip on it. Alright, so we're good. Okay. There. Let's see. Pull the gun and he like, I think I have to press him again on this. I think. Were you intending to shoot Mr. Winterbank? No, never. I was just, you know. Okay, bruh, flatlines. Very cool, yeah. Surprise, you didn't press all statements. Well, I wanted to see, like, if I press this again, after, like, he said what he said here, but it's like, this is just the same text. abstain. That's fine. I'll press all the statements. That's fine. Okay. I just wanted to see, just in case, if I had to like repress it, because he's like, wait, no, I'll keep that in mind. And then you press it again, and then when they say that line, he brings it up, you know? But I thought that's what was gonna happen, but that's fine. You say you had nothing to do with it? Nothing at all. Nothing, Gov, nothing. The old geezer went and shut himself in the back room. Didn't he? Mm-hmm. Locked it was from the inside. We know it was because we tried to open it. But it's a decent door, that one. Good and strong. Wouldn't budge an inch. So in the end, the situation remains unchanged. What? Inside the storeroom with the pawnbroker there was only one other person. The sole person who could possibly have shot the victim, the accused Miss Gina Lestrade. You need to chill, Fantiques, with that. It would appear so. What say you to that, counsel? I don't know. Was there anyone else apart from Gina who could possibly have shot Mr. Windibank? I mean, if I say there's no one else, obviously she's gonna get convicted, but there could have been somebody else. Mr. and Mr. Skulkin. What? What's that look for? From the moment you admitted that you'd encountered the victim face to face that night, the course of this trial changed completely. And hello, Wavy Ricardo, how's it going? Ace Attorney time, bluff your ass up. I know, right? Like, I get so uneasy. It's like, did they or did they steal the cookie from the jar? And then you have like just it's like yes or no, and then you pick no, and they're like okay, and then they're like okay, well I don't think they did it, but this person did, and then you have to pick it. It's like I don't know, like stop it, because I'm just as clueless as you are. Like Ace Attorney loves to do that. It's like okay, I get it, and then they pull you with the all right, so this is the person, pick, and it's like what do you mean pick? I don't know who the fuck to pick. What do you mean I know? I don't know shit. And they have these context clues and shit to like figure out who did it. God. It did? What is your point, my learned friend? The question we must answer is, who could have shot Mr. Windibank? And it is the belief of the defense that the defendant is not only is not the only possible answer at all. Yeah, You have my attention. Oh, thank you, Van Zeeks. Don't worry. I will make that attention well deserved. In that case, let us return to this plan of, oh, fuck me. He's gonna be like, oh, we're on the plan. Could the victim have been shot? Okay, my thing is, what happened was, oh, I saw one of your TikToks, so I had to come to follow. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm trying to like post more on my TikTok, but it's really hard to pick just good clips to put on there, you know? But thank you. I appreciate it. But look, no, he's gonna pull the pick on the map where he got shot. All or nothing. And it's like, okay, look, first of all, I was bluffing. Second of all, I mean, come on. But I want to say what probably happened was, if what they said is true, right? Mr. Windibanks went through the storeroom door. He probably went in and locked it after he saw the guns in place. Locked the door to protect himself from being barged in on. And what happened was, the taller burglar opened the peephole, right? And Windibanks probably had his back turned to him, or back turned at the door, and then they shot him from there. But then this is where it gets tricky because the peephole or the little like door slot is high, and where he got shot from on the back is from a. It look, the angling is from low and up, so it's like ugh.
Lumpy Space 88 OMG. Thank you for 19 months. Good evening.
Lumpy,
Long time
thank
no
you
see.
so much.
Happy 19 months. Fearful face, fearful
God.
face.
It's fucking 19 months, Jesus. But yes, happy 19 months. But Lumpy, thanks so much for stopping by. I always appreciate it. The anime is the first game. None of the other games have an anime. Right? Yes. The first game is an anime, which it's still good though. It's very good. Like it was actually kind of cool to see all those cases animated. Granted, it was heavily sped up. Like literally like next frame was the case and it's like, oh damn, okay. And then like next frame, oh okay, yeah, we did it. It's like, oh okay, where was the like extra in betweens, you know? But they highlighted the key moments in the anime, but it was actually good. It actually wasn't bad. Like if they made an Ace Attorney animated series of the entire series, I would love that so much. Animated Van Zeeks, yes, sign me the fuck up. Yes. Anyways, in that case, let us return to this plan of the premises. The victim was killed in the storeroom, which was locked from the inside. Those are the facts. So pray, what other possible answer to the question of who shot the man could there be? Oh, and the live action movie, yes. And I've watched the live action movies. It's actually not bad either. Like, they're actually pretty good. They're not bad at all. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's actually not bad. Counsel. You must now provide answers to the court in respect of 2 conundrums. 2, my lord? Twice as many chances to be right, maybe? Indeed. Namely, from what location did the culprit shoot the victim? And furthermore, where was the victim at the time? Understood, my lord. Oh my god. Are you alright, Rudo? No, I'm not alright. Because this ass named Ryunosuke Naruhodo is gonna set me up for failure. I'm gonna lose all of my chances. I'm not entirely sure, but there's one thing I am sure about. If I could prove that there is a credible new alternative to what happened, it would change Gina's prospects hugely. Fuck me. So now, time for some clarity. Show the court on this plan the answers to the questions posed by his lordship. Fuck. If you believe someone else could have killed him, indicate from where that person... Fuck. Okay. Okay. Let's big brain time. I have to think really hard right now. We got this. Okay. What other possibility? He died instantly. That's number 1. Number 1, we have to establish. Single bullet wound to the back. Right? To the heart. From the back on a gently rising diagonal trajectory. Right? So, if it's some bullshit thing where the gun hit an object, or the bullet hit an object, ricocheting it to an angle to hit him, I'm gonna call bullshit on that. But okay. Upper half of the victims. No, okay. So first and foremost, he was shot and died immediately, right? So there's no way he could have stumbled himself inside the storeroom. So he 100% died inside here. 100% he was in the storeroom. He died in there. 100%. Indicate from where that person could have fired the gun. Now we have to determine where could they have fired the gun. It was at a slightly rising trajectory, right? And if we look at the photograph here, I appreciate this magnifying glass so much. Okay, so the peephole is like right here, right? It's in this section. This had to have been open, right? And I really feel like these images are gonna give us a clue, though. Yeah, cause you see here, this door right here, See, that was open, you know, like that had to have been open. There's no other way. The problem is, though, is that being open means it would be at the like upper portion, because if you look at Mr. Windibanks, where he is in proportion to the thing, if you were to walk up, I think it's gonna be like near like upper. Actually, it could have probably maybe shot him, but it's gonna be obviously upper. So the hard part is determining where the victim shot. Now, I noticed the brothers in their testimonies before, they said that they knocked over like a lot of things, like this. They said the scale, the skull, the doll, the painting, like everything here, right? They said that was knocked over. What if the door was open? I mean, that would mean that they would have to like stand behind him and bam, like they shot him. But the problem is that if the door was open, who locked it? That's the new issue. Like, who locked the door? Unless, no, wait. Okay. Hear me out. This is another one of Rose's theories. Hear me out. Okay. So what happened was, this is my theory. What happened was, Mr. Windibanks come in and he's like, pew pew, don't be in my place. And then they're like, grr, I have gun. And then they take their gun out. Windibanks freaks out, right? Opens a storeroom, runs inside. And in a panic, the burglars chase after him, right? They shoot him in the back. Then what happened, or no, Mr. Windibanks probably shot at them, right? Because there is a bullet hole at the calendar. So I want to say he got scared. He shot at them, or fired a shot, hit the calendar, right? Or the burglars may have more than one bullet, but the fact that his gun had no bullet in it, it was shot. So I want to say he shot at them as a warning shot and it hit the calendar. And then knowing that he didn't have another bullet in his gun, they pulled the gun on him. He freaked out, went into the storeroom. You know, he opened it, ran inside, and then they were chasing behind him. He didn't have a chance to turn around to close the door. They shoot him. He falls over in place. And then, you know, that's that. Or what could have happened if the door wasn't opened? What could have happened? Mr. Windibanks made it inside, locked the door. The tall burglar took the short burglar, slid him through the hole, the like top latch hole, right? Slid him through the latch. And then he reached down to the lock, locked the door, and then pulled them out. Bam! Maybe Ginny was already unconscious in the room to begin with, so she didn't know what the fuck was going on. That's what I think. I think Ginny was in there already unconscious. How? I don't know. But I think she was already unconscious in there. I think so. I don't know. But, or, if the door was open, maybe Ginny came in afterwards, they knocked her out, and then they tried to pin it on her. That's the other way. What if the gun was dropped and it fired when it hit the floor? That is another good theory, though, but I'm not sure. But that is a good theory. Either way, we have to figure out where they were standing, though. Because that would explain the angle of the bullet trajectory. True, that would. But single bullet shot from both guns. Okay, so single bullet shot from both guns. Where the person would have fired the gun. It would have been the short one to fire the gun then at that point. from the trajectory. Even if the gun had fell and shot at an angle, I would think the angle is too steep because it said slight angle. And the wording is very specific too. It says slight angle. Because I think from the floor, it would be more of a steeper angle. You know what? I want to say the person was standing right there. Right in front of the door. Shot him. That is the only way. Right there. Oh god, I'm so scared. Oh god, I'm so scared. That's the only way. That is the only way, right? Yeah. Because they can't be standing here. Because... No, they can't be standing there. Okay. Right there.
Take that!
The defense believed that the culprit could have shot the victim from this location here. Yes. Yes. Yeah. Van Zeeks. And in answer to the second question... Oh, fuck me. Fuck it. Find the place before we sit here for the assume the culprit fight location into where was the victim at the time. Oh, they're gonna give me a two-parter. God damn it. I thought it was gonna be like, oh, this is right, and then we did the other one. Okay, obviously he was inside. He was inside there. Am I right? Am I right? The culprit shot the victim. Ooh-wah! Yes. I'm right. Oh, I'm right, right? The victim shot, he was shot from, continue. Oh, okay, continue. Oh, Mr. Windovic died instantly from a bullet wound in his back, and I think I got it right. Don't make me get it wrong. Okay. Okay. Looking at the stain of blood on the storeroom floor, it doesn't appear that the body was moved after death. Which tells us that he was almost certainly shot while he was in the storeroom. However, the crucial point is, where was the shooter when the fatal bullet was fired? So you are adamant that the shot was fired from outside the storeroom? Well, according to the Skulkin brothers' earlier testimony, I pulled me gun on him, and then he legged it through that door in the back room. If Mr. Windobanks ran away through the door, we have to assume that the door was open at the time. Yes! Yes! Okay. Yes! It was at precisely that moment when the victim was fleeing for his life that these brothers had the perfect opportunity to shoot the man in the back once he was inside the storeroom. Don't you ever put me through that shit again, Ryunosuke, because that was too stressful. Thank you. Fucking A. That was so stressful. I have goosebumps, man. Come to think of it, do you remember what the prosecutor said at the start of the trial? Moving on to the findings of Scotland Yard's coroner, his report states that the bullet entered the body on a rising diagonal trajectory. This is Ace Attorney, it gets worse, I know. Because he's gonna pull some shit up his ass, watch. Van Zeek's gonna be like, oh, I get your theory, but what about if this actually happened instead? And then he'd be like, look, Van Zeek, you need to shut the fuck up. Please. It means the victim was likely to be likely shot by someone significantly shorter in height than himself. So the short one had to have shot the gun. Poor man. Shot while he was running as fast as he could to safety. Of course. He would have been leaning forward as he was running away. So even if the bullet was fired horizontally, it would still have entered the... What? You have me thinking all this time it's some short person that shot the gun because of the slightly upward trajectory, but he was running. Who runs at an angle? Like, I don't run like that. Maybe like at this, yeah, but you're saying the man was like this? He was running his fat ass over into the storeroom? Like this? Like, come on! Jeez, and then they pull out stupid explanations like this. So even if the bullet was fired horizontally, it would still have entered his body on an upward trajectory. God damn it! Upward trajectory. Naruto, but that's Naruto though. My man sprinting. So the culprit isn't necessarily someone shorter than Mr. Windibank.
Objection!
Oh, he's unhappy to hear that explanation. I'm sure my learned friend can't have forgotten that the storeroom door was found closed and locked from the inside. Oh, but guess what, Van Zeeks, my learned Englishman? The short guy could have obviously been propped out and over into the little peephole and locked the door. You claim the victim was shot as he fled into the storeroom. Do you also claim his corpse was dexterous enough to turn the key in the lock? But what if someone else locked the door? Yes, there is someone else who could have locked the storeroom door. Is that so? Very well then, counsel. Present your hypotheses to the court. In the scenario just described, the defense's assertion is that the victim was shot from outside the storeroom. In which case, who shut and locked the storeroom door from the inside? %. I'm 100% short. 100%. 100%. Man is a master of backhanded compliments for real. God. 100%.
Take that!
Obviously, that person could only have been... Just a moment, Runo. What? I'm just about to point dramatically at the prosecution and unveil an amazing revelation. Wait, no? Sorry? What do you mean, sorry? But before you do, maybe you should take a deep breath and think things through one more time. The storeroom was locked from the inside, so whoever locked it must have been inside too, don't you think? Ah, like Mr. Winterbank, you mean? Well, yes, except that he was dead. Okay. But there's someone else it could have been. Only one other person, really. Only one other. Okay. Okay. I see how it is. Okay, whatever. You can take my penalty. That's fine. I don't care. You can take my penalty. There's a time limit. Now then, let me pose the question again. In the scenario just described, the defense's assertion is that the victim was shot from outside the storeroom. In which case, who shut and locked the storeroom door from the inside? Okay. I didn't want to pick Gina at first because then... I don't know, like I feel like that would be wrong, but then it makes sense because that would make sense that Gina's in there. Now here's the problem. Why was Gina fainted in the room? That's what I want to know. Like, how was she fainted in the room? She had to have locked the door. I mean, she couldn't have locked the door. That's what I mean. Like she was fainted. So you're saying she was asleep? She decided I'm gonna lock the door and sleep while there's two burglars outside? Doesn't make sense, but like... Gina.
Take that!
Obviously, the person who locked the door was the only other person inside the storeroom at the time. The defendant, Miss Gina Lestrade... Fuck me, really?
Objection!
That's absurd! That's what I'm saying. You're suggesting that the accuser deliberately engineered the sealed room? For what possible reason? Such actions would only serve to tighten the noose around her neck. I am inclined to agree, I must say. Well, counsel? Yes, that's a tricky one, that... Isn't it? Half-baked notions have no place in my courtroom, counsel. Remember that, please. But of course, Ginny would have locked the door. It almost goes without saying, doesn't it? It does? Well, if I was Ginny in that situation, I know I would have locked the door as quickly as I could. I mean, those two burglars had just fired a gun in her direction, hadn't they? Oh yes, obviously. Before the two before the two brothers arrived, Miss Lestrade and Mr. Windibank were in the storeroom together. Now, I don't know what went on between them at that time, but at some point, Mr. Windibank must have heard the intruders breaking into his shop and left the storeroom. Intruders, eh? That's us, bruv. Yeah, that's us, bro. They're talking about us. It's like, you're about to die if you're, like, convicted guilty. You realize that, right? If your theory is correct, that would leave the accused alone in the storeroom. Yes, it would. Then, probably only moments later, the victim fled back through the storeroom door, hoping to escape danger. Bang. Hit in the back by the bullet, Mr. Windibank fell to the floor where he was, just inside the storeroom. Oh, okay, I can see what probably happened. I can see what probably happened. Gina may have fainted at the sight of Mr. Windibank's dead. So that makes sense. Now the other problem is, how the fuck did they wrap the gun in her hand? That's the separate question. Unless she picked it up instinctively for self-defense, but then saw him dead and then fainted, and then that would explain that. But we'll see. See, hit in the back by the bullet, Mr. Windibank fell to the floor where he was, just inside the storeroom. And what we have to ask ourselves now is, what would the defendant have done in that moment? I see where you're going with this. Outside the storeroom was a terrifying killer who had just murdered Mr. Windibank. As soon as that thought struck Miss Lestrade, she slammed the door shut and locked it, in order to save her own life.
Hold it!
Oh. But I mean, we ain't the ones who done it. We ain't, Gov, we ain't. You gotta believe us. I mean, come on, we'd never shoot no one.
Objection!
That's blatantly untrue. I know for a fact that you would. Because before my own eyes, you shot Mr. Herlock Sholmes. Yeah, bitch. There's only one logical conclusion here. Mr. Skulkin, you brothers had every opportunity to have been the true perpetrators of Mr. Windibank's murder. Oh, uh-huh. You don't have anything to say, do you? Where does this leave us? You mean to say it wasn't the pickpocket who shot the pawnbroker after all? I should have known it was those three brothers. They look shady as a dense forest. That was amazing, Bruno. All the members of the jury seem to be firmly on your side now. I know, first time ever, and probably the last. Well, I think you've done it. Surely they'll have to give a verdict of not... Oh, what are you... Oh, Van Zeeks, what are you laughing about? Can you fill me in on what's so funny, sir? An admirable effort, my learned friend. What's this now? He's laughing? You find the situation amusing, Lord Van Zeeks? I myself find the defense's argument most persuasive. I dare say. That word is the bread and butter of the street performers in your provincial Eastern nation. But such blatantly malicious conjuring tricks amount to nothing more than inexcusable pettifoggery here. What? The hypotheses you put forward to ostensibly credibly cannot and will not stand. Because, you see, it contains a fatal flaw. Here we go. A fatal flaw? Do you mean to tell me that you're unaware of your logic's failing? I say, Lord Van Zeeks, might be an idea to explain this Bali conjuring trick, or whatever it is to the troops on the ground, The fatal flaw in my learned friend's argument is really very simple to understand. Oh, there goes the third broken chalice. Assuming you're not too dim-witted to count bullets. See, I knew he was gonna say that. Fuck. By George, count bullets! Oh dear. He noticed then. Huh? What's everyone talking about? Counsel. Yes, sir. Tell the court how many bullets were found at the scene of the crime. Two. Two bullets. Correct. The first, that which hit the victim in the back, ending his life. And the second, that which struck the detective, Mr. Herlock Sholmes, on his... Oh, fuck. Oh, shits. Oh, shits. Oh, shits. Oh, shits. Oh, shits. Oh, shits. Oh, fuck. Okay. Okay, first of all, fuck you, Van Zeeks, fuck you. And then second of all, I'm sweating bullets because we're talking about 3 bullets when they have indicated 2 bullets. There's actually 3 bullets because you have the bullet that was in Herlock Sholmes, right? Then you have the bullet that was in Mr. Windibank's. Then there's actually another bullet that was fired at the calendar. This bullet and this bullet. We have this one. Where the fuck did this one come from? That's... Damn. And it wasn't like that either. When we were there, the first time, it was perfect. Shit. Okay. And the second, that would struck the detective, Mr. Herlock Sholmes, on his arrival at the scene. Indeed. The defense presented a picture showing the damage caused by the second bullet earlier in the proceedings. The bullet which injured Mr. Sholmes appears to have passed through his body to strike the calendar. You see, here's the thing though, Judge. What if the bullet didn't pass through his body? How about that? Your lordship's understanding is... Okay, good. Good. Okay, so then why is the bullet an issue? Because I'm lost here. If we're 100% 2 bullets. So now that was cleared up for me, we're all on the same page now. There's only 2 bullets. The bullet on the calendar is what went through Sholmes, meaning that blood is probably Mr. Sholmes' blood. But anyways. Okay, continue. Furthermore, we know there are 2 firearms involved in the incident. Yes, The revolver belonging to the victim, Mr. Windibank. And the Skulkin brothers' revolver. Yeah. Oh. Fuck. If they shot both Sholmes and both Windibank, it would only be on one gun and not on the shopkeeper's gun. Because if the shopkeeper actually shot his gun like the brother said he did, that means there's 3 gunshots that were fired. And that contradicts with the... Oh, fuck. The Skulkin brothers' revolver. Oh, shit. Okay. I see where he's going with this now. The evidence shows that a single bullet was fired from each gun. Yes, indeed it does. A single bullet from each. Now then, my learned friend. You yourself told the court only moments ago that these 2 brothers shot Mr. Herlock Sholmes right before your eyes. Yes, I did. Oh my goodness, I think you'll find that if the single bullet that was fired from the brother's gun hit Mr. Sholmes, it means Windenbake not shot by same gun, stop. Only one bullet, stop. Exactly. Shit. Okay, yes, this Nipponese street performer presented an ostensibly credible argument. However, it was never anything more than a diversionary trick with no hope of standing up to scrutiny. You need to stop that. I'm trying here, Van Siegs. Order! Oh, and he throws a bottle? Okay, pray forgive the discourtesy of flinging the dregs of this hollow nectar into the public Bitch said, fuck the mic drop. I'ma throw a whole ass bottle. Bitch. like, okay, boom. Van Zeeks, you... You're so lucky. I am like, just so goddamn, like, borderline obsessed with your ass. You're so lucky. Lord Van Zeeks. But this court needs to open its eyes. The accused, Miss Gina Lestrade, is no ordinary little girl. Despite her young years, she can regrettably no longer be described as a juvenile. No, the person in the dock is far from a law-abiding citizen. Jesus Christ, I couldn't get that out. She has a past riddled with criminal conduct. The truth is, the accused broke into the pawnbrokery on the night in question with loathsome intent. As we can see beyond doubt in this print, which depicts her threatening the victim with the murder weapon. Okay. And I have here in my possession one more piece of evidence the prosecution wishes to present. Oh shit, it's a disc. That disc. I'll be taking whatever it is of McGilded's down to the yard. Thank you very much. No, don't give it to him. It's mine, that is mine. I'm sorry, miss. But anything belonging to McGilded has to be taken in as evidence now. Damn. Yes, that music box disc. McGilded's music box disc. The very day before the hateful murder of Mr. Windenbake, the accused attempted to make off with this article, which clearly doesn't belong to her, and with none of the see, I'm gonna stutter on this word. None of the subtlety of a pickpocket, I might add, but by brute force and brazen impudence. Good gracious. Make no mistake, any sympathy for the accused on account of her years is misguided and dangerous. There are no depths to which this girl would not stoop if pushed, no crime she would not commit. The court forgets that fact at its peril. I see. I think it would be prudent to take this music box disc into evidence counsel as a grim testament to Lord Van Zeeks. Damn, Gregson, you scared the fuck out of me. Inspector Gregson? What? Yes, Inspector? We had a meeting yesterday at the yard with the prosecution service and hello, hysterical. How's it going? I think it was agreed that the disc would not be used as evidence. But he used it anyway. What's this all about? Why is the inspector acting strangely? That's the first time he said anything to Van Zeeks at all. I am unaware of any such meeting. But those were the instructions right from the top. The government bigwigs were insistent. Inspector, I am the prosecutor, and I alone determine how to present my case. Your warning is noted. Thank you. Van Zeke said, look, your high officials can do what they want, but in this courtroom, this is my house. And I do whatever the fuck I want in my house. The prosecution wishes to proceed with submitting this disc as evidence, my lord. Indeed. Bailiff. The music box has been the music box disc has been entered into the court record. I like how I fumble on this, but then I didn't fumble on what's his face's the other Japanese man who we had to defend. I said that long ass phrase perfectly fine, but I can't say music box disc for some reason. God. I haven't tuned in your stream in a long time. I remember you used to do Smash arenas. Yes. But no worries on tuning in. I get people get busy. But I don't do Smash as often, but when Sora comes out, we will be doing a bit more Smash, so there's that. So we'll be playing a lot more Smash for sure on here when Sora comes out. Probably on the first day I'll have Smash up on his release day, and then or whenever my next stream date is when he's released, and then yeah, we'll play some Smash, do some arenas, get that done. The prosecution has established the accused's motive, opportunity, and a baseness of character. There is nothing more to add. Oh, and you're gonna bow. Thank you, Van Zeeks. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I await your informed decisions and rest my case. All right, Van Zeeks, I see how it is. I don't believe it. I had the jury on my side for once, for all of 5 minutes. 5 minutes? That was a whole ass, like, hour. What do you mean 5 minutes? Oh dear, it wasn't even for 5 minutes, Bruno. My lord. Wonder if I might say something at this point. Proceed, Mr. Foreman. Been stumbling about in a bit of a fog up to now, if truth be told. But all of a sudden, the answer's bally obvious to me and my men. There's only one thing for it. Oh no. Very well. The court will hear from the jury. Ladies and gentlemen, you will present your leanings as to the defendant's culpability.
Guilty.
Guilty.
Guilty. Guilty.
Guilty.
Guilty.
I'm having to do another examination. We have a consensus among the jury, it seems. When you have eliminated the impossible, whatever remains must be the truth. That's my line. I wrote that for Hurley. How dare he use it against us? Don't worry, Iris. I don't think we're finished yet. There's still more to this case than we realize. There must be, because there's one thing that I'm absolutely certain of. Gina didn't shoot Mr. Windibank. That's beyond any doubt. Oh boy. Very well. We will proceed with the second summonation examination of the day. Mr. Foreman, are you and the other jurors ready? Garadeb Squadron is primed and ready for action, sir. Very good. So, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you will each explain on what grounds you have now determined the defendant to be guilty. Here we go. Judicial findings. Oh boy, here we go. It's getting hot in here. Like, I'm getting heated. It's hot in here. I'm stressed the fuck out. Like, this case needs to go. The jurors' contentions. Once a rogue, always a rogue, I say. Different breed to us law-abiding people. As only 2 bullets were found at the scene, I would say the whole case is done and dusted. You don't need a stereoscope to see the truth here. Every which way you look at it, it was that pickpocket. I never imagined that simple operation would cause me such grief. The accused attempted a theft on the previous day. I can see I'm in for a busy day ahead. I am ballistics expert. I have seen many shootings. There is nothing I do not know about guns. I can see that. You are very sus, sir. God. It would seem there is little remaining room for doubt. I have to admit, I was rather bowled over by the argument put forward by the chap in black. But when that fell apart like a house of cards, I saw that I'd jolly well been hoodwinked. Well, no more. The whole courtroom is turning against me. It's not fair. Iris? That prosecutor's being mean. Just because Jenny's done some things she shouldn't have done in the past, that doesn't make her a murderer. Allow me to savor this fruity vintage while I savor the spectacles of your fruitless debate on the matter. Can that fruity vintage be me? Can you savor me instead? God. Here's to the truth coming out eventually. Right. I'm gonna make you eat your words. That's enough preamble. Counsel, proceed with the summonation examination. That's right. Slap your face into shape. Let's go. Yes, my lord. Oh, let's do this. The defense's rebuttal. Okay. Press.
Hold it!
Just because Miss Lestrade has a history of pickpocketing, she must be guilty of murder. Is that what you're saying? Well, are all members of the British Army so quick to judge? I beg your pardon? Are you mocking Her Majesty's Armed Forces, the greatest military organization in the world? No, I'm simply illustrating my points. Making assumptions about people because they're a soldier or a pickpocket is wrong and dangerous. Well, yes, might have a point there, I suppose. But let's not forget the girl had already shown she had it in her from before. She's clearly a criminal sort through and through. Can't deny it. When you say that she'd shown she had it in her, are you referring to this? Exactly. Tried to swipe that only a day earlier, Or am I mistaken? Not exactly. Given that I was actually there at the time, it's hard to refute that. I've never actually seen the real thing. I can't wait to have a closer look at it. Oh, yes, of course. Mr. Sholmes did use his caramel bars to make a copy of the disc. He did. And then ordered every type of music box he could find from across Europe. He's 100% dedicated, that's for sure. We still don't know what tune it plays though, do we? But I'd love to see how the original compares to Hurley's copy. I'm probably thinking it's probably Morse code for something. McGilded's disc. Could it be a clue somehow? Perhaps we should examine it in more detail. Okay, let's examine the disc real quick. Can we like spray it? That'd be cool. Oh, Bruno, look! This is blood! Yes, you're right. Just a small smear, but definitely blood. Actually, I feel as though I might have noticed that before. Then it's my time to shine again. I thought I'd be waiting forever. Alright, hold still with that disc, Bruno. Can we get this done quickly, Iris? In a flash. And then she's gonna use her smoky smoke spray. Bam. Green. Oh, wow! I got the color right. Green. Green. Second time I guessed the color right. Let's go. Ooh, a lovely bright shade again. Wait, that color. What is it? It's just that green. It's not the first time we've seen that color, is it? Yep, and then that says the McGilded. For McGilded. That's the man you defended in court a couple of months ago, isn't it, Bruno? Yes. Or rather, mistakenly defended. I wonder what his name is doing on the back of this disc. That's a question I'd love to know the answer to myself. Alright. And that is it. Yes. Okay, cool. So, that is something. And we don't know who the green blood belongs to, so it could either be... It could be Mr. Sholmes, but it's definitely not Windabanks or the thrice-fired Mason guy. So, anyways, let's continue.
Hold it!
It's the number of bullets that has convinced you. Only 2 bullets were fired, and the 2 guns that fired them have been examined by the police. When the parlor maid asks me how many are invited for dinner, I always tell her to count the table settings. Well, that's logical, I suppose. Although, yes, sometimes after dining, crockery does go missing. 1 or 2 guests rather like the fine china. Does your employer dine with thieves? So, I suppose. If there was another bullet somewhere of which we were unaware, I'd have to reconsider my position. A 3rd bullet somewhere on the scene? Could that be possible? A 3rd bullet at the scene. I don't... Okay, so we can learn from the last time we did... Yeah. Yeah, so we don't... No, we don't... It's impossible. No. I don't know yet. Unfortunately, only 2 bullets were discovered by the police during their investigation. Yes, I know. Right. And I don't imagine the good men of Scotland Yard would have overlooked anything. If I missed a bullet while I was cleaning his lordship's office, well... I should receive a sound scolding, I don't doubt. And he should receive a visit from the police, perhaps. It sounds like a crime scene to me. A 3rd bullet. It would completely turn things around if there was one, wouldn't it? Do you think we might find one lying around somewhere? Yeah, because we're gonna magically find one lying around somewhere. You don't need a stereoscope to see the truth here. Wait a minute. Okay, just making sure. Because what if... Okay. I swear to God, if there's like a bullet like hidden somewhere in this photo, I would be so goddamn mad. I'd be like, what the fuck? Oh, there's blood there. So this is after he got shot. That is definitely blood under the door. Okay, I don't see no bullets there. Okay.
Hold it!
Press. So if I've understood correctly, you need 2 pictures, a left eye one and a slightly different right eye one. Exactly. Then you can see the scene in 3 dimensions, like this. So if we have 2 bullets, I don't suppose you can see anything useful with them? I think you'll find that no matter how much you squint, the truth of the situation always looks the same here. The only person who could have shot the victim is that girl in the dock. How can you be so sure of that? Think about it. The Skulkin brothers shot the great detective. Didn't they? Yes, that's been mentioned once or twice. Well then, surely it's coming into focus now, isn't it? This is a waste of time. I'm not going to change this man's mind anytime soon. Yeah, fuck him. Alright. Okay, sir. That simple operation will cause... I swear to God, if whatever operation he had is related to this shit. Okay, press. Would you please stop muttering about things that have nothing to do with his trial, sir? The defendant's life is on the line here. Well, the thing is, I couldn't really say that it is nothing to do with this trial, to be honest. Huh? Wait, what? I mean, there's no question that the man was shot, but the bullet had simply vanished from his stomach. It's quite inexplicable, don't you think? Wait. You mean to tell me the bullet isn't Herlock still? So Herlock needs to hurry up and get the fuck here so we don't get our asses? This is why I don't like Ace Attorney sometimes. For these situations. So you mean to tell me this quack of a doctor said something of sense for fucking once, and you mean to tell me that the bullet is still in Sholmes? If that was actually mentioned later, like earlier on, then it went way over my head because I forgot. But if it's inside Sholmes, that explains the third bullet. I almost don't want to ask, but this surgery you've been muttering about all this time, you were operating on... Oh no, and did he operate on Sholmes? What was the fellow's name now? Herlick... Are you serious? 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 What was the fellow's name now? Herlick? No. Herlock? No, Hairlock? Herlock Sholmes by any chance? Yes, good lord. It was that Hairlock fellow. Oh, fucking A. What? You're the surgeon that operated on Mr. Sholmes? That's right, using the very latest anesthesia techniques, I might add. It was a fairly major op, I can tell you. This is crazy. Let me see. The fellow was brought in not too long after midnight, if I remember correctly. They said he'd been shot by some criminal or other, so I opened him up like a shot. But the funny thing is, I went over his insides with a fine-tooth comb and couldn't find the bullet anywhere. Okay. So they couldn't find the bullet. Right. So I'm afraid I had to throw up my hands and just stitch the fellow back up. Don't tell me he still has the bullet inside him, sir. I hate to say the obvious, but... Yes. Was there an exit wound, sir? Because that explains everything. Was there an exit wound? Surely that's because the bullet is still at the scene of the shooting. The counsel for the defense is correct. Okay, so if you saw nothing, then okay. If you saw nothing, then it's still there. But then fucking Van Zieks is gonna argue back saying like, no, Scotland Yard went through everything and only found 2 bullets. How do you explain that? As is clearly shown in this photographic print, the bullet that the Skulkin brothers fired at Mr. Sholmes hit him in the stomach region, then exited his body and lodged into the shop wall where the calendar was hanging by the door. I think you'll find it's really quite simple if you just considered the problem 3-dimensionally. Ha! Who do you think I am, son? Well, juror number 4 is about the best I could do. Because we don't know your name. As soon as I saw the wound on the man's stomach, I flipped him over. Like a pancake? Are you saying that you checked his back? Of course I did. And there wasn't a trace of injury. What did I say? What did I fucking say? What did I say? What did I say? The bullet needed to have an exit wound entry. It needed to have an exit wound. Exit wounds. Exit wounds. It needed to have an exit wound. That means it's still inside him. Of course I did. If there wasn't a trace of injury, no sign that the bullet had left the body at all. What? That's the point. The only logical conclusion was that the bullet was still somewhere in the man's innards, which is exactly why I set about slicing him up. And I'm still none the wiser even now. How many times do I have to say it? Aw, thank you for the sub, Abby. Thank you.
OMG, thank you for 17 months. Exit wound.
Look at you comment on that. But thank you for the sub. I appreciate it. Can somebody please explain how it happened? Can somebody please solve the mystery? It's almost as much of a mystery as how this jury was put together. Okay. So let me... The accused attempted the theft on the previous day. I kind of feel like I don't need to... If there's no exit wound, and then I pit it to the girl, but then he's unsure of himself. But obviously, it has to still be in Sholmes because there's no exit wound. Anyways, we'll continue. Oh Jesus! What do you mean you're in for a busy day? Forgot to say. Stop. Do excuse me. Stop. I am a communications officer. Stop. A communications officer. Does it have to do something with sending telegrams? Everything from personal messages written by members of the public to the latest news in the capital. I convert all the messages into Morse code and tap it out to the entire world electronically. To the entire world? I think we read this dialogue already. Thousands of miles. Yeah, stop. Worldwide. Yeah, we did. Yeah, we read this. Ah, yes. She was getting equally worked up about radio waves or the like before, wasn't she? Yeah. I specialize in communicating information from government departments and newspaper offices. I see. I'm sure I shall have to wire the newspaper reports of today's guilty. No, fuck you. It's not gonna be guilty. It's gonna be not guilty. So no sleep for me tonight, I imagine. Uh-huh. Let's just finish the trial first, shall we? Okay. I'm a ballistics expert. I've been seeing many shootings. Alright, Mr. Ballistics expert. I thought you were just a tourist. If he says he wants to see the goddamn tower again. Good day. I am visiting London for sightseeing. I would like to take bus to Crystal Tower, please. I love that's his response to like every question. There's no way he's just a visiting tourist. So, you're a ballistics expert? Who knew? I have much experience with guns. Ah. I have lived through many, how do you say, extreme, violent bath of, no, blood of, extreme violent bloodbaths, perhaps. Those. Extreme violent bloodbaths. That is very suspicious, sir, and you need to stop squeezing that mouse. English is very difficult tongue. Considering the sort of people you associate with, I'm surprised you still have a tongue. Anyway, if you have questions about bullets and guns, you ask me. There is nothing I do not know. No mystery I cannot solve. He's very confident in his knowledge of guns, that's for sure. But, if possible, please only in Russian language. He's not very confident in his knowledge of English, though. is he? No. Still, we should bear that in mind. He's our man if there's a mystery about guns or bullets. Alright, I got this. Van Zieks has managed to convince everyone. When you have eliminated the impossible, he said, but he hasn't. If we're going to fight back, we need more material. And we have to fight back. We have to turn this trial around again. We got this. Alright. We're gonna go back to Le Doctor. We're gonna pit him against the ballistics expert because then he's gonna know where the fucking gun went inside Sholmes.
Objection.
Those two statements clearly contradict the idea that all I do is pit jurors. The idea that all I do is pit jurors against each other. Oh, a ballistics expert. Pitting. P-I-T-T. On the night in question, Mr. Sholmes was shot by one of the Skulkin brothers. Normally, I don't want to walk back and forth this time. But since there was no sign of an exit wound on his back, we must assume the bullet didn't pass through him. However, no bullet was found lodged in Mr. Sholmes' body either. Furthermore, a bullet was found lodged in the wall of the shop where Mr. Sholmes was shot. Juror number 6. Hello, my name is Villain. Pleased to meet you. This apparent contradiction in the facts that is so clearly troubling juror number 4. Are you able to explain the mystery? Are you? I have seen very similar situation in Motherland. It was night. There was blizzard. I was running away along mountain road in freezing cold with pet mouse and dog. But I eat dog and save mouse. I don't fucking know. He's Russian. They do shit like that. Golly. The snow was piling high on both sides of road. It was very narrow and dangerous. My pursuers had hunting rifles and they were on dog sled. You see, there were dogs. There were dogs. He took their dog and ate it. That's what happened. Mental note, don't ask too many questions. I was shot from behind and I fell down in snow. And this situation was very similar to what I hear today from Doctor. They could not find bullet in my body. And no sign of, how do you say, exit wound. Then where did the bullet go? Bullet never hit me. It was just a flesh wound then? Well, if it never hit you, why did you fall down? Bullet hit frozen wall of ice very close to my side. What? One small piece, very sharp, broke away from lump of ice and pierced my body. What? It made deep wound that looks just like bullet wound. Good gracious. Of course, piece of ice quickly melted inside me. And that is solution to mystery of disappearing bullet. Right. But there was no ice. He had to have taken something out. But that doesn't answer the question at all. The shooting happened in a pawnbroker's shop. Not some snowy mountain road in another country. Just an idea, but we might not be looking at exactly the same scenario here. Bruno, where exactly was Hurley shot again? Well, according to the report, in his stomach. Sort of around this area, I think. Well, that's precisely where he always wears a little pouch on his belt. A pouch? Actually, I may have noticed something like that. Yes, a pouch. It's where he keeps 3 glass vials of very dangerous chemicals that he uses in his investigations. What? Really? Doctor, where is the pouch Mr. Sholmes was wearing? Well, the fellow had nothing like that on his person when he arrived at the hospital, as far as I remember. If I may, Lord Van Zeeks? Well, I realize it is forbidden for the prosecution to interject during a summonation examination. I should inform the defense that I have the pouch in question in the antechamber outside the courtroom. Sorry? As I understand it, when the police arrived on the scene and found Mr. Sholmes injured, they removed the pouch in order to assess the wounds. Thank goodness! I thought I was getting forgetful for a moment. Since then, it has been in my safekeeping along with all other evidence relating to the case. Can you please present all the evidence relating to the case, sir? That will help a lot. I will occasionally, I will personally vouch for the fact that it has not been touched since the incident occurred. Very well. While extremely unconventional during a summonation examination, I must demand the prosecution presents the item in question with all speed. Bring forth Mr. Herlock Sholmes' pouch. This case is crazy. I see. So this is the pouch worn by Mr. Sholmes on the night in question, is it? Look at that. One of the files is broken and the leather around it is scorched black. It's almost as if the file exploded. Exploded. So that night, I don't think that's applicable here. Don't go away, chaos. So that night, the bullet from the Skulkin brothers' gun struck Mr. Sholmes' pouch. And it was the glass file exploding that caused the fellow's injury. This bullet did not penetrate victim, but was deflected into wall of shop. Yeah, that's what happened. A delightfully complex aroma. Okay, Van Zeeks, you can just tell me what's on your mind instead of being a fucking dick with your fucking remarks, okay? Well, it would appear one mystery has been solved at least. Though, it has no bearing on the truth of this case. Weren't you supposed to shut up during my summonation examination? The bungling and burgling brothers shot the detective, and the accused shot the pawnbroker. The pertinent facts of the case remain unaltered. But at least the mystery is solved. I can sleep easy tonight. Thank you, young man. Thank you very much. Glad I could help. Due to its bearing on the conundrum just solved, the court will sequester this scruffy pouch as evidence. Hurley's pouch isn't scruffy. Sholmes' pouch has been entered into the court record. Now, the summonation examination. It would appear the defense is somewhat struggling to alter opinion, Please, my lord, a little more time. After all, that's a new piece of evidence. It could be a valuable clue, and you can't afford to overlook anything here, Ryunosuke. There's still a way to turn this around, somehow. I'm sure of it. Alright. And then we're gonna present this evidence to this bitch. I would say the whole case is done and dusted.
Hold it!
That's right, it was a number of bullets. And the 2 guns I fired have been examined by the police. Give me a second. Because let me check this real quick. Because what if the bullet is like lodged in here? And then that would actually... I swear to God, if the 3rd bullet's in here. This file has been smashed to pieces. Presumably, this is where the bullet struck. As soon as the bullet hit the chemical in that file, there would have been a really big explosion. Can we check the pouch for the bullet? Oh, yeah. See, no, I was doing it, Chaos. I was doing it. Before you say anything. A big explosion? Well, Hurley's potions and chemicals are amazingly useful for the investigation work he does. But they're also quite tricky to handle. Safely, at least. They're very dangerous. Oh. I'm sure that when this file broke, the chemical inside would have ignited. And thus his wound. Note to self, always walk on the right-hand side of Sholmes in future. The left is danger zone. That's funny. Oh, what is this? What is that bulge? Oh, look! There's a hole here at the back. It doesn't look much like a bullet hole, but clearly something's ripped through the leather with great force. Something must have pierced it somehow to have left this hole behind. Yes, it looks that way. Mr. Sholmes and his pouch both took a beating. Didn't they? Cut me some slack? No. Never. Never ever. Oh, hello, oh, hello. It's really scorched badly just here. Oh, the strap is broken, look. This must be where the bullet hit then. Let me see. Oh, we found the bullet. Hello, bullet. What the? Iris, look! Behind where the broken file was. Do you see it? That's the Skulkin brothers' bullet. What a stroke of luck that it hit his pouch. This is an amazing discovery. What this means is there were 3 bullets fired at Windibanks that night. We found exactly what that juror was talking about. The 3rd bullet. It's time to press that juror again, I think. Their bullet has been entered into the court record. And guess what? I already have it in the court record. Or, not court record, but I already have talked to lady I talk to now. Well, that's logical, I suppose. Although... Right. Go on. Hurry up and ask me. If there's another bullet somewhere, I can prove it, miss. Allow me to show you, then, the 3rd bullet. I present to you the 3rd bullet, and it'll blow your mind. Wait, let me examine it first, because this game is all like, you didn't examine it, so it's wrong. This is the bullet that was fired from the Skulkin brothers' gun on the night of the incident. Yes, so it turns out it never actually entered Hurley's body at all. Thanks to the thick leather of that pouch he was wearing, it saved him. Hurley's always unlucky like that. Well, considering what he had to go through in hospital, I wonder how lucky he really was. Oh dear, poor Hurley. Then is that to say that whatever chemical that Hurley had reacted to Iris's powder, so the chemical splashed on that thingy, on the calendar, and then also a piece of it splashed on the disc, I want to say, and that's why it's green. But anyways, let's present this.
Take that!
Bitch. Here it is. We discovered it just now. Yes, on the night in question in Windibank's pawnbrokery, another bullet was fired.
Hold it!
Oh, you mad? You mad, Vanzies? What is this new trickery, you Nepalese conjurer? Where did you find that bullet? It was lodged inside Mr. Sholmes' pouch. What? This pouch was removed from around Mr. Sholmes' waist before he was taken to hospital. And since then, it has been touched by no one. Do you mean to say the shot fired by the Skulkin brothers that night? Yes. As your lordship has surmised, it hit this pouch. But that makes no sense whatsoever. We already know the whereabouts of the bullet fired at Mr. Sholmes. It's clearly visible in this photographic print. 2 guns from the scene have already been submitted into the court record as evidence. Yes, that of Mr. Windibank and that belonging to the Skulkin brothers. An examination of both guns revealed that only a single bullet had been fired from each. But that must mean... That's right. We now know that on the night in question, 3 bullets were fired. However, only 2 bullets were fired from the guns recovered from the crime scene. And until that incontrovertible inconsistency is somehow explained, we cannot and must not pass judgment. Oh, I'm sorry, Vanzeeks. Oh, I love how dramatic he is. Oh, I love that. Order! While the summation examination remains incomplete, the court has been presented with new facts. Facts that would appear to shake the very foundations upon which the case against the defendant has been built. As is my prerogative in this situation, I hereby temporarily suspend the summation examination. By Jupiter! What? Bailiff, bring the witnesses back to the stand at once. Judge, what the fuck is going on in this case? Oh boy. Witnesses. Governor! Were you listening to proceedings while the defense carried out the summation examination? We was, Governor, we was. Perhaps we can dispense the tedious preamble. Simply answer this one question. A 3rd bullet has been identified at the scene of the crime. What do you make of that? Make of it, Gov? I don't make nothing of it. Is it one of yours? Oh, yo, Van Zeeks is mad. He's so pissed. Gorply me, Gov, Gorply me, not a chance. In that case, did you have an accomplice? What? Never. The Skulkin brothers work alone. Okay, like I said before in the beginning of this case, if Gregson was a part of this shit, I'm gonna lose my shit. It's just the 2 of us. That's our trademark. How soon we forget poor Sulky. Only 2 of the bullets from the crime scene originated from the firearms we have in evidence. The 3rd bullet was fired from another gun. Where is it? That's an head scratcher. Counsel for the defense. Yes? I should like to hear your thoughts regarding these new developments. The 3rd bullet and the mysterious missing firearm from whence it came. Thinking back over all the testimony we've heard and all the evidence we've seen, I think I'm starting to form a picture of what really happened that night. My lord, I think it's clear that this 3rd bullet tells us about the Skulkin brothers. They had a secret accomplice, they had another gun, it's got nothing to do with them. Come on, man. Oh, come on. Okay, if come on. No! I didn't mean to press A! No, abort, don't do this, abort, no, I didn't mean to, that was a mispress, I believe it has nothing to do with them, I swear to God, that was a mispress, I didn't mean to, I believe it has nothing to do with them. Oh shit. Huh? Nash, hey, that's right. Yeah, nothing to do with us, Gov. We've established that 1 bullet was fired from each of the 2 guns already known to the... Wait, I got it right? Wait, I got it right? Wait. We've established that 1 bullet was fired from each of the 2 guns already known to the court. The logical conclusion, therefore, is that on the night in question at Mr. Windibank's pawnbrokery, there was another person present in possession of a 3rd firearm. I got it right. Yo, let's go. 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 Mistakes. Mistakes. Mistake. Look, see, if mistakes happens, good things happens with all the mistakes you make. And this is the one mistake where something good happens. Oh, let's go. Whilst the brothers may have had nothing to do with the third gun or the bullet fired from it, it's inconceivable that they had nothing to do with the third man. Yes, the brothers were working with an accomplice who was carrying a gun. Yeah, Van Zeeks, you better look at me like that, but I made a mistake and it worked out. An accomplice, you say? Pig's will. I swear if it's Gregson, I'm gonna lose my shit. These protracted proceedings have already forced us to endure 2 summonation examinations. Yet in all that time, there has not been a murmur of a third man. If this apparently wraith-like being exists... Oh. The court must be shown hard evidence. Without it, this fantasy will be crushed. Oh god, misinput actually worked for you, right? I am just... Okay. The prosecution demands answers on 2 accounts. Firstly, proof. Evidence that this accomplice was never at the scene of the crime. And secondly, the identity of this spurious character. The Skulkins are lying, I know that. But how can I ascertain the identity of the person they're hiding? Well, counsel, I'm supposed to prove the existence of this accomplice and reveal the person's identity even. In response to the prosecution's demands, my lord, the defense is... I have to, because if I say no, then... If I say no... Ready to present answers. Unable, ready to present answers, yes. The defense is ready. Well, I know Sholmes, but... Okay, Chaos, let me solve, please. The defense is ready. I was gonna pick Gregson either way, cause I sussed him. I sussed him 100%, especially when he got scared of Van Zeek's presenting the disc and all that stuff. I'm like, okay, Gregson, you're mighty sus right now. I'm gonna present them though, because Gregson had it, if I remember correctly. The defense is ready. I believe I can provide all the answers the prosecution demands. So, my Nipponese friend, despite the swimming eyes, you seem to think you have something to say. This promises to be interesting. I have to push forward now. There's no other option. I need to use every single piece of evidence available to me if it will make a difference. I don't have a thinking emote. In that case, counsel, I would ask you to present the evidence without delay. On the night in question, in the moments leading up to the death of the victim, what proof have you that there was a third intruder present at the scene? Okay. Okay. This is where they get you to remember story. The smear of blood on it turned green when analyzed. Trying to think. Wait, okay. Because there were various people that held the disc though. That's the funny part. Okay, so originally the metal disc. Okay, so the people that I know that had it, it was Lestrade, Miss Lestrade. She had it in her hands, but I don't think she got nicked by it. Then it was Gregson that had it. Then, and hello, sweetent. How's it going? And then we have Herlock, who had the disc as well. And Herlock had no blood at all. So, but they both held the disc because Herlock actually had the disc. He did the caramel imprint on it and everything. But there was magically blood on the disc. That's the thing. There was a third intruder present at the scene. Because we have the music disc and then we have that. So if that's the case, so there was a third intruder. Because that's not going to prove it. I want to say probably the music disc. Okay, let me see. Found deceased in the last omnibus. Details victim. Defendant. Conviction was assured with 3 eyewitness testimonies. However, surprise 4th witness testimony resulted in acquittal due to insufficient evidence. Okay. I don't think that's going to be a part of it. Report prepared by a coroner that confirmed single bullet wound from the back time to trauma. Right. I want to say the disc. It has to be the disc. I think it's a disc. That's the only like new evidence we have that could like link everything. And we can't present people. So it's not this or this, right? Because we already used those. And that proves Sholmes didn't do the thing, right? This is just it's the stereoscope thing. We're not going to use that. We already finished with these two. We finished with these two. We don't need that. We don't need this. I'm convinced that it's the disc. It could be the sample or the disc. Different people bloods for different colors. Wait! Different people's bloods turns different colors. So, in Windabank shop, there was one blood variation. Windabank storeroom, that's the second variation. Now we have 2 blood types, right? And then we have the brothers. Now, if the brothers never got injured, right, and there's no blood, we already know that they were in there. The only blood that should be in that storeroom is this motherfucker's blood. And since Sholmes only had like an explosion wound or whatever, like he didn't bleed. Yeah, I don't think, yeah, because the bullet never entered Sholmes. Sholmes was just like injured, which made it seem like it was a puncture wound. I don't think there was any blood anywhere. So would it be this? The fact that there's different variants of blood? Yes?
Take that!
Oh, yes! Yes, let's go! Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! Okay. Let's go! 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 Okay. Oh god, I'm so excited. All right, the evidence is right here in this portfolio. By Jove, that portfolio again, is it? Do you expect the court to rifle through your papers itself? Be more specific. You claim one of those blood samples proves the presence of this third intruder. Well, which one is it? Okay. Green. And then green. He's dead and he's dead, so it's not this. It's between this one and the other one. I say this one because that was made by someone holding it.
Take that!
This is a blood sample that proves it. Fuck you. Come on! You perplex me, counsel, by looking so pleased with yourself despite the displeasing answer. Go away. You would do well to take your irrelevant specimens of blood and go back to whence you came. And I'll see to it that you go down this court's history as an equally irrelevant specimen. Okay. Fuck you. Disc was never there at the moment of the shot, I guess. Well, I think it takes a certain genius to give such a completely wrong answer, personally. The kind of genius I could really do without. Time to think again. See, I was thinking too big brain on that, because I was thinking, like, because he had the disc and it matches the same blood color of the first image, then it has to link to that person, that there was a third person at the crime, because if there's blood, the same blood type on the disc that wasn't there, that would explain that there's a third person. That was my thought process. Apparently the game didn't like that. Okay. Okay. It has to be this one then. It has to be that one. What am I looking at here? There appears to be some green paint or such like around the bullet hole in the middle of the calendar. That's a bloodstain, my lord. A bloodstain. Green blood? Curious, even for you. Is the court to understand that the intruder was some unhuman creature? It's something developed by Mr. Herlock Sholmes. By the great detective! New invention, stop. Not yet appeared in stories, stop. It's this, you see. It doesn't have a name yet, though. This fogger sprays a chemical that reacts with the different elements in people's blood to change its color. Different elements of people's blood? Yes, everyone's blood is slightly different, you see, because it's made up of different elements. So, by seeing what color it changes to, you can tell in a flash whose blood it is. Oh, that brings a whole extra dimension to looking at blood. Talk of blood in courtroom, stop. Very exciting, stop. As an example, this one shows the blood of the victim, Mr. Windibank. Ah, a striking blue. Yes, so you see, the green color of this bloodstain on the calendar shows that somebody else was shot in the main part of the shop. Now hold fire there, young man. Could be from some unrelated incident. Couldn't it? Nope, because it was perfectly fine. No, it's not unrelated. The date showing on the calendar is the date on which Mr. Windibank was killed. By golly. Therefore, we can assume that whoever was shot on the same day. Then whose blood is it? Well, the Skulkin brothers in the stand don't appear to be suffering any gunshot injuries. Which means it must be the blood of somebody else. The third intruder, in fact.
Objection!
Whose identity the court is still waiting... Oh, whose identity the court is still waiting to hear. You can't delay this any longer, my learned friends. Who is this alleged third intruder? Alright. Process of elimination. We're back at the rose. Summonation. Examination. Alright. So, obviously it's not Susato. It's not Turlock. It's not Iris. It's not Windibank. Not Lestrade. I forgot about Mr. Edgar Benedict, a young Englishman had appeared at Winterberg Palmer accusing Gina of stealing his redemption ticket. Wasn't he the one that got cut by it? Wasn't it Edgar Benedict? Okay, I'm sus of him. I'm sus of you. It is not him. It's not Van Zeeks, of course. It's not these two. So now it's down to Edgar Benedict or Mr. Gregson, right? Okay. I remember this guy though. He was there, and he was very aggressive towards towards what's her face, Gina. I wouldn't be surprised if he tried to attempt to break back into the store to steal the disc or whatever it was, because he actually had some some of the stuff that McGilded had to claim items. Like he actually had written down like the timestamps and stuff like that on the receipts that was left over with Windibank for certain items, and Gina was there and he was trying to take that stuff from Gina. I think it's Edgar Benedict. It can't be Gregson. I don't think it's Gregson. I think it's Edgar Benedict. The man's name is Edgar Benedict. Edgar Benedict? Who on earth are you talking about, Counsel? He paid a visit to Windowbank's pawnbrokery on the afternoon before the incident took place. When the accused attempted to deceive the pawnbroker into releasing this article into her possession. That's right. The man identified by the defense, Mr. Edgar Benedict, then attempted to take the article from the defendant by force. Yep. And then I think that's when he got nicked, yeah. See, this is like the small detail portion parts that I forget because I play the game on segmented days so that I don't remember certain like small details. Yes, sir? I believe this filthy pocket thief has just redeemed an article from you, no? Yes, the article in question belongs to me. I demand for it to be returned at once. Now that's a lie. What are you trying to pull? Give me back my overcoat, you wastrel. And needless to say... Oh god. Any music box discs too. Inspector Gregson was there at the time and can attest to what happened. In the end, it was the inspector himself who took the disc. Can you corroborate this account, Inspector? Yes, my lord. That's more or less what happened. Okay, you see, yeah, that happened. That's why I mixed Gregson in. I just mixed up the disc tossing, the disc transferring. And in the interest of being thorough, I asked Windowbank for a print showing the fellow. Oh, hello! Taken from one of his red-handed recorder Gubbinsons. Yes, that's him talking to Mr. Windowbanks that morning. And you claim this man is the brother's accomplice? Well, Mr. and Mr. Skulkin? Never seen the geezer before in my life. On me life, Gov, on me life, never seen him. Well, somewhat unsurprisingly, it appears our witnesses disagree with the assertion. I'm sure your lordship recalls my learned Nipponese friend's actual assertion, which was that he could prove the identity of the alleged accomplice. Yes, and I can. Then show us the evidence. What? I agree. We must see proof that the clean-gut gentleman in the photograph is the filthy criminal you say he is. What? What? Wait, what? This is the last piece of evidence. What? I've had a feeling that something has been missing in this trial from the very start. What is missing? I'm lost! But now, I'm going to drag it, kicking and screaming into the courtroom. What are you talking about? I'm fucking lost! Are you ready to present your answer to the court then, counsel? Yes, my lord. The defense will present the evidence now. Proof that the man pictured in this a photographic print was in fact the person struck by the third bullet. How do we prove this dude is related to this? Yeah, that's... Okay. Proof that the man pictured in this photograph print was in fact the person struck by the... Oh, this one! Wait, no, wait, no, never mind. Never mind. I was like, this one, but no, never mind. Proof that the man pictured for the print was in fact the person struck by the third bullet. Oh, that's a cat. That's a kitty cat. Oh, the disc! The music box disc, right? Because he got scratched. The blood turned green. And then we just explained, and Gregson proved to us that, yeah, the music disc was tossed over and the blood's green. It's the disc, right? That's the only thing. It's the disc.
Take that!
It's the disc. It's the disc. It's the disc. As I mentioned before, on the afternoon of the day in question, green blood to green blood. Well, yeah, that's what I put together. The defendant attempted deceitfully, admittedly, to reclaim this disc from Windibanks, which is when the aforementioned Edgar Benedict appeared on the scene, I believe. This man then attempted to purloin the article from the defendant's possession, no? That's correct, my lord. I myself was present at the time. It was following this that a minor incident occurred. But of course, sir, here is the disc for you. Right. Very well. God, his poses. Then I shall bid you farewell. Say goodbye to style. Wait a minute. That disc is mine. What do you think you're doing, you little tramp? You've drawn blood, you filthy animal. Being a music box disc, it has countless small but sharp metal protrusions over its surface. Those protrusions cause Mr. Benedict's finger to bleed. And the resulting smear of blood is still visible on the disc now. Goodness, a bloodstain, is it? My assistants and I have just analyzed the bloodstain here in this very courtroom. Using my trusty fogger gun. Yes. And we added the results to this portfolio. I say, it's green. It's exactly the same color as the blood around the calendar. The evidence is conclusive. The man calling himself Mr. Edgar Benedict, who was in Windibanks earlier in the day, is the accomplice who was present at the scene of the crime that same night. So there was someone else there? Look at those two brothers now. They're sweating buckets. Oi, what are you talking about? It's boiling in here. My lord, it is the opinion of the defense that Mr. Edgar Benedict should be summoned to the courtroom to testify. It would certainly seem that we can ill afford to ignore this gentleman's apparent presence.
Objection!
This has gone on long enough now. This flagrant ignorance of the mechanics of law. What? Sherlock Holmes, you say? Yes, I've heard the name. The protagonist in a series of short stories for the vulgar classes, a god of detections or some such. Okay. And now you employ chemical substances devised by this fantastical persona in the highest courts in the land? Do you expect us to take you seriously? The samples made by this plaything are not fit to be called evidence. So the bloodstain turned a shade of green. What of it? Here's to you successfully proving that no other blood in the world would turn the same color. Well... And pray, do not even think of suggesting that we should take Mr. Sholm's word for it. Is he right? Is Mr. Sholm's concoction a load of rubbish? I don't know. I mean, he is a great detective. What are you talking about? Oh, God. I knew it would come to this. Of course, Mr. Sholm's invention isn't going to be recognized by any official body. But what other choice did I have? I'm just remembering what Father Christmas over there said before. About how he was temporarily suspending the examination. Ah, In other words, the examination isn't over yet, is it? Good grief. What did you just say, young girl? And in a summonation examination, the decision has to whether or not... Oh, the decision as to whether or not the trial continues is in the hands of the 6 jurors, isn't it? Ooh, she got you, Van Zeeks. So the way I see it, it doesn't matter what certain other people think of Hurley's invention. At least, not for now. Yes, she's right. Young lady, you have quite the devious mind. It really just comes down to one thing. Whether these ladies and gentlemen of the jury are convinced by what you say, Bruno. Is that about right? Would you say? Or did I misunderstand something? Unbelievable. Mr. Sholm's partner is a force to be reckoned with. Iris Wilson, sharpshooter. After that shoot presses of the situation from an entirely unexpected source. It must be acknowledged that the previous summonation examination has yet to reach its conclusion. This is absurd. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, the court now looks to you for your final leanings in this matter. As proud citizens of Her Majesty's Britain, I'm sure you will come to fair and just conclusions. Yes, I'm sure you will. So then, state your final decisions in turn, please.
Not guilty.
Oh.
Not guilty.
Oh, yes.
Not guilty.
Ooh,
Guilty.
what? Hey!
Guilty.
Not guilty.
Oh, thank you, Russian man. Yes. Yes, thank you. 2 call guilty and 4 call not guilty. Such is the outcome of the summonation examination.
Objection.
Oh, you mad? My lord, with all due respect, this is an outrage. The prosecution refuses to accept this decision. On what grounds? If these jurors are persuaded by some half-baked concoction devised by a pretender to real police work, then they are too ignorant to be trusted with the judgment of anyone's guilt. Aw, he's mad. Sorry, Van Zeeks. I'm sorry, Lord Van Zeeks, but the outcome of the summonation examination cannot be ignored. This trial will continue. Oh, I'm sorry, but it has to continue, Van Zeeks. It has to. Nevertheless, we find ourselves in a rather awkward situation. The defense has very reasonably requested the subpoena of a new witness. But sadly, I fear that would be impossible. What? The name the gentleman gave for himself, Edgar Benedict, is quite clearly false. I don't believe it. Just when I'd managed to prove the man was there that night. Could I say something? Who was that? Please, who spoke? All right, and I will end it there. Thank you. So everybody will now have in their minds who the fuck said that, and you have to find out next week when I update my schedule, because I think next week my schedule is gonna look a little different. So keep on the lookout for that on my schedule. My trusty mod posted up my schedule too if you want to check out my Twitch schedule and know when I'm streaming. I know I missed like two or 3 days. No, 2 weeks I think I missed on updating the schedule days, but I've been busy. But I will update the schedule for sure this week, so you guys aren't confused with stream times and things like that. But yeah, that was a case. That was a lot. That was a case. And we're not done with the case either. So like I'm heated, I'm exhausted. My voice held out, so that's good. But yeah, other than that, I will see you guys later. Have an awesome night and an awesome weekend, and I will see you next week. Bye-bye.